What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And real quick, before we get started on this article right here, just wanted to say Happy New Year to each and every one of you guys. Welcome to 2024. Hope you enjoyed your holiday weekend with family and friends. Unlike Hollywood, who is not enjoying starting off this new year at all. All right. Hollywood gotta be nervous as hell. Everybody in the film industry, all of these major studios, they gotta be sweating bullets right now because they don't know what the hell Hollywood is going to do in 2024. We've already touched on this particular subject, how the box office could lose $1 billion because of the lack of major Hollywood movies. And that's true. It could lose $1 billion because there's not a lot coming out. There's less movies coming out in 2024 than there was in 2023. But to me, it's not just the lack of major Hollywood movies. It's the lack of major Hollywood movies people actually want to go and watch, you know, and are willing to spend their bread on, because that's the main thing. You might actually want to go and watch a film like, hey, man, that looks interesting. But do I want to spend 15, 16, 17 bucks for a ticket or whatever it is? Plus popcorn, plus candy, plus a drink, plus if I'm going with a date, I got to pay for the date. Or if I got my kids, I got to pay for their drinks and their, I mean, that's a lot of bread, all right? So I think that's the biggest issue Hollywood has right now, is that there's nothing out there that's so enticing, or there's little content out there that's so enticing that Hollywood's like, oh yeah, people are going to be flocking in to see this thing. People can't wait to check this out. And a lot of it is due to the fact that there are just way too many reboots, way too many sequels, way too many remakes. Yeah, remember, this is from that Deadline article where we covered this topic previously, talking about the broken rhythm of big product next year poses further questions about when the theatrical marketplace might return to a place of strength. The consequences are profound, trying to rebuild the audience's interest in theatrical and getting the business healthy again. The business is dying. Theatrical box office is dying right now. That's the big problem. It's too expensive, and the stuff you guys got in theaters is not enticing enough to get us to come in weekend after weekend after weekend. You know, yeah, there will be some people out there watching, all right, but there's not a lot of tickets being sold, and it's because of this lack of creativity. Remember the studio boss, we were talking about this. The issue is what's happening with the audience, says another studio boss. These are far bigger issues for me. The failures of this year beyond, coupled with the lack of originality, okay, and the need for newness that actually works. The risk is that we're boring the audience with the same old shit, and they are boring the audience, okay? Audiences are bored. We're getting sick and tired of watching the same old, okay? Which is kind of interesting when you look at 2024. All right, check this out. Screen Rant drops this article predicting the 10 highest grossing movies of 2024. Okay, let me just scroll through this and see if you notice a pattern going on. All right, so number 10, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Number 9, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Number 8, Kung Fu Panda 4. Number 7, Venom 3. Number 6, Dune Part 2. Number 5, Mufasa the Lion King. Number 4, Joker Folie à Deux. Number 3, Inside Out 2. Number 2, Deadpool 3. And then number 1 is Despicable Me 4, which is predicted to get $1.3 billion at the box office. So that's what they think. Now, did you notice the pattern? All right. Every last one of these joints is a sequel. Every one of these films was a sequel. All right. I guess, well, except for Mufasa the Lion King, that was, I guess, a prequel. I guess that one's supposed to be a prequel or whatever. But it's still some sort of a derivative of the original. It's not original content. And that's the problem. That's what this last dude, the anonymous studio boss, is saying. Nobody's checking for that. That's what we saw in 2023. 2023 proves that nobody's checking for all of this unoriginal content. Yeah, notice like the top 3 movies for the 2023 worldwide box office. You got Barbie, Super Mario Brothers, and Oppenheimer. All right? All original. Not a reboot, not a remake, not a sequel, none of that crap. Original. That's what people are looking for. You know, you got to make something original for the current generation. They're tired. Like, hey, can I stop wearing my brother's hand-me-downs, Mom? Can I have my own clothes? Like, why do I have to keep watching films that was, you know, old stuff? Like Fast X. Like, when did the original Fast and the Furious movie, wasn't that like 2000? That came out in like 2000 or 99, somewhere back in that range. Or maybe it was 01. I think it was 2001. Like, why are we still making these movies? It's like, come on. This is 20 plus years later. Give us our own stuff. Yeah, a couple of them are fun. Can we move on, though? You know, spend your bread. And look, they spent $330 million, I think, on this thing to only make $700 million. The audience is speaking. That's what that anonymous studio executive is talking about. Nobody's checking for this stuff anymore. All right, Mission Impossible flopped. Ant-Man flopped. All right, John Wick, I think, was cool, but Transformers flopped. The Meg 2 flopped. People are like, look, we're done. All right. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which was just a bad film, period. But nevertheless, people weren't checking for it, and they spent $300 million to make that flop. You know? Let's not get to the Marvels, man. That's way down. Where is the Marvels at, man? Oh, it's way down here, number 26. God damn. I mean, it's bad out there. But that's what the kids are saying. Look, we tired of the same old, okay? But here's the real danger that Hollywood enters into right now, okay? This is the danger that Hollywood enters into, is that these big budget blockbusters are no longer a guarantee. So where are we going to get our guaranteed bread from? Because back in the day, you know, you make a Star Wars movie, you make a Marvel movie, you make a DC movie or comic book, whatever, Harry Potter, whatever. You could count on that film making enough money to justify the cost of making it. Like, all right, man, we got to spend $200 million on this, but we're going to make that bread back and then some. We're going to be just fine. You know, because this is a big, huge tentpole blockbuster franchise. And we know we're going to get our money back for this. Can you guarantee that any of these films ain't going to flop? Look at all of the flops that came out last year. Aquaman was a flop. The Flash was a flop. You cannot guarantee. Hunger Games flopped. You cannot guarantee that any of these movies are going to make the money that they are supposed to make. And listen, when you're spending $200 million on a movie, I've said this before, you're not doing that to break even, okay? You want to break even, you go down to the penny slots. You play the penny slots, the safe stuff. If you just want to play around and, you know, all right, we're just going to play around with this and, you know, we're really not trying to make money, all right? You bet big to win big. That's what these films are doing. They're betting big because they expect to make $1 billion or come somewhere close to $1 billion. But as you can see, none of these joints, Indiana Jones didn't, Transformers didn't, Ant-Man didn't, none of these films came close to $1 billion with the exception of these three. Guardians barely broke even. So that's the big issue, is that these films, they don't know where to go and get that huge blockbuster movie that's going to turn out a whole lot of people and bring money to the box office and sell a ton of tickets. I've showed you guys this chart before. This is annual ticket sales. This is on the numbers. And you can see the blue line represents tickets sold. The red line represents the box office. But yeah, you can see right here, the blue line peaked out at approximately 1.5 billion tickets sold back in 2002. All right, 21 years ago. So you fast forward all the way to 2023, 845 million tickets sold. What does this tell you? People are not interested in going to theaters anymore. People have checked out of the theater going experience. Hey, I got my 4K at home. I got my 4K HD TV at the crib. I got surround sound. It's better than the movies. And the food isn't super expensive. You know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay at the crib and, you know, I'll wait for whatever movie is out. It'll come out on VOD. You know, it'll come out streaming video on demand in about, 4 months. You know, I'll just wait for it. That's what's happening right now. The entire movie-going experience is changing right before Hollywood's eyes. And here's the big problem with that. The big problem is, how do you monetize this when the tickets are dropping? When ticket sales are dropping, how do you monetize this? How do you justify spending $300 million on a big-time blockbuster? Star Wars, it could be part of a huge franchise or Marvel or something like that. How do you justify that when there is a strong likelihood you will lose money on that? You will lose money, and then are you really going to make that up on streaming on demand? Probably not. You see how these streaming services are going. Disney Plus is losing money. You know, Amazon is losing. Everybody, well, I think Amazon is cool, but Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Peacock, HBO Max, they're all losing money. So it's like we can't get butts in seats, and our streaming services are drying up and they're losing bread. Hollywood is in trouble. That's what I'm saying. They are in trouble. They don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to be very budget conscious. I can tell you that right now. They're going to have to be extremely budget conscious because it doesn't matter. They can make all of these big tentpole movies dropping $200, $250, $300 million to make them. They're going to lose money. 2023 proved it. They're going to lose money. The likelihood of them losing money is extraordinarily high. So now moving forward, when you're looking at these films that Screen Rant was talking about of what's going to be the highest grossing films, it's like, we don't know what's going to happen, you know? Will Deadpool make 1.1 billion? I don't know. It's a rated R movie. It might not, you know? What's going to happen with some of these films where they've spent a ton of money on them, all right? Inside Out, I don't know how that's going to do. Maybe it makes the money. Maybe it doesn't. You know, folks might just say, you know what? I'm good. I'll wait for Disney Plus. We'll catch it then. And that's the problem, okay? That's the big issue. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with all of these movies as they're coming out this year in 2024. Joker is $1 billion movie. They're saying 825 million. But what if people ain't feeling that, you know, that whole musical stuff? What if people ain't feeling the musical? What if this only ends up making 500 million? How much money do you spend on these films now? How much money going forward are you going to spend on these major franchises? They need to start making original content. You know, right now, the market is ripe for original content that speaks to the current generation. That's what they need to do. If I was out here making original IP, the number one thing I would focus on is a film dealing with a male action hero. Male action heroes that can be positive role models. You know, you guys will remember I did this whole video talking about how we need male heroes. I'll link it above if you didn't see that. We absolutely need more male heroes. And we haven't gotten them from Hollywood. I would do that absolutely first thing. Hey, man, we need a positive male action hero. You know, John Wick, yeah, but, you know, he kills a lot of people. You know, he wastes people out. So maybe not a John Wick type, but somebody that's a positive role model. We should have got that with Indiana Jones, but, you know, Kathleen and her dumbass Panderstone, you know, screwed all of that up. But, you know, that's what I would do. And then I was, you know, come out with some family-oriented films, families on adventures, you know, live action, you know, like the Goonies, stuff like that for the kids, for the whole family, fun for the whole family. That's what I would be looking to do, you know. But Hollywood, unfortunately, Hollywood just ain't there right now. And it's pretty sad, man. It's pretty sad. But you guys let me know what you think about this situation. Again, I think it's going to be interesting to see how some of these movies come out this year. I think, you know, Dune might do okay. I don't know. You know, 715, that seems kind of lofty. It only made like 400 million originally, but this might be the $1 billion hit. Honestly, I'm going to go and see this multiple times. I can tell you that right now, off rip. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.